was going through your mind when you were trying to make sure that your son was okay?
Um, it was shock. I mean, at first, but ultimately, I just kept thinking he's gonna be all right, you know. But if he's not answering his phone, he's not answering text messages, and there's a shooting at his job, you just kind of put two and two together, and you're kind of hoping for the best, but you just pray that everything's gonna be all right.
What is
So
his condition right now?
he's stable. He's stable. He's talking. Last night when we came, he was on the ventilator. He wasn't able to breathe on his own from the gunshot wounds he sustained. But now he's he's talking. If he could speak for himself, he would. He just wanted me to do it for him.
How old is he?
He's 24 years old.
Where was he shot, and what did he say when he saw you?
He was shot in his back. He has a gunshot wound in his back, and he has a gunshot wound the sternum. And he's
Like
recovering
in
from
his
both.
chest?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit from what he's told you about his story and start from the beginning of what he said to you about what happened?
It was a normal day at work, he said. They went to the break room. They were all in the break room. They were having their daily meeting, he said, and he then noticed his manager was looking kind of different. He just didn't understand what was going on. Everybody kind of thought maybe he was just in a mood or something, but suddenly it changed. It transitioned from the look to now actually seeing a gun. And at that moment, that's when everything transpired, and he was wounded on his ear. He got a gunshot wound, grazed his ear. That's when he realized that he was being shot. He's
I'm sorry. Do you think he was targeted?
Well,
say?
I can't speculate that, but there is kind of, maybe a feeling of when you go to work every day and sometimes you rub each other the wrong way. Sometimes you might feel like a person might have some issues with you, but no, he's not here to speak for himself, so I can't prove that.
What is the title of Jalen over at Walmart? Is he a manager?
No, he's a Walmart associate.
You said if he could speak for himself, he would. But you're speaking for him. Was it important for him to have you come out and speak, or did you?
Yes,
want to?
yes. They came in and spoke with him and asked him if he was okay with just letting the community know what was going on, and he absolutely wanted people to know, so if there was any questions, he could help out with that, and he's just glad to be alive. He really is. He's glad to be alive.
So how did he escape?
Well, from the break room, that's when I was explaining to you what he said. She knew he was being shot. He made it to the front of the store, and then when he made it to the front of the store, he was shot again by the same person. And at that moment, that's when he received help from another co-worker that took him outside to her vehicle until the medic showed up.
I hate to ask this, but was he afraid that he was going to die that night? Do you know?
Absolutely.
What was going through his head?
He expressed that to us numerous times. Even right before we came down, he was just saying he thought he was going to die. It was a moment where he just had, you have blackouts and you feel like you're just leaving, but he just kept going.
As a mother, how does that make? How do you react to something hearing your son say those words?
I'm grateful to hear him say that he was fighting and that he actually felt he was leaving, but he just kept coming back. That's a will. So I'm very enthused that he actually pushed through that and he found that place, to come back.
And final one from me, sorry, but there are so many other victims, and I'm sure that your son knows so many people who might have been hurt in that area. Has he talked or opened up about maybe some of the trauma yet to be unfolded with going through what the future days look like?
Yes, he did express that because those were co-workers. Once again, like I said, he went to work every day. It was a normal day at work. People you see every day that you possibly, won't see again if they were affected by this. So yes, there's trauma. He's really dealing with that more. I guess you can say almost as much as the injuries, the trauma of people being injured and hurt that he might not ever see again.
Can you, Kimberly, just walk us through what he told you? You said it started in the break room. He was in the break room. Is the
Correct.
break room in the back of Walmart, and then
I would guess.
The shooting
I've never
started
seen the
there?
break room, but I would assume, because he said the back, so I assume the back of the store. That's where it began. Correct.
The shooting began in the back of the store. Your son ran to the front of the store where he was then shot again.
Correct.
But he was first shot in the back of the store.
Correct.
So, what did he say to you about what was going through his mind when that was happening? I know you had.
When that was happening, his exact words were, "I got shot." I actually got shot. And then when he made it to the front, his exact words to us was, "I just got shot again." So you know you got shot in the beginning, and now as you're trying to go get help, you're shot again.
Did he see anybody else on the ground?
Absolutely, yes. He said he saw, yes. He saw people on the ground. He cannot specify who or what the nature of the injuries were, but he saw people on the ground. He actually had to, he said he had to, you know, kind of jump over them just trying to save himself and get to the front of the store.
And you hearing that as his mom, you know, that sounds horrifying.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm just, once again, I'm taken back by the whole experience, but I'm just thankful that he survived in order for me to be down here to tell you guys the story.
And he has a long road ahead of him,
Correct.
recovery-wise. Is that correct?
Correct. I don't know the duration of time, but I could imagine he would have at least a month, you know, to just try to even get back to just being himself again. Then you have the mental trauma that you have to deal with from this. So he'll get through it.
I said I would have no more questions. I only have one more for me.
Yeah.
If he had a final message, one thing he really wanted you to get across, what was it?
A final message, I believe he would just want you to know, and this is what I actually told him just a few minutes ago, that, you know, the people you love in your life, just make sure you always let them know you love them, because you just never know when they walk out the door if you're ever going to see them again, because that's something he and I have prided ourselves on lately, more and more, and I'm just grateful that I did that and that we had those discussions prior to this happening, because that's what was running through my mind when I heard about the injuries that were sustained and the people that were hurt. All I was thinking was, did they even get a chance, you know, to say I love you or I care about you and that I hope everything goes well for you at work? You know, you just never know when you're going to have that last moment. So
And Thanksgiving
just
is
cherish.
tomorrow.
Exactly,
A lot
correct.
of people are going to have a very different Thanksgiving.
Correct. They're going to have a very different, even ourselves, but I'm just thankful that he's alive.
Now, did Jalen tell you if this shooter was a manager? Was the manager?
Correct. Yes, he did state that it was a manager at Walmart.
Okay. Thank you. And what's the rest of the day look like for you? Are you going to stay here at the hospital? Are you going to go home, come back?
Yes, we're going to stay at the hospital. My parents came down as well, so we're going to stay here for as long as we can stay, and then we might, you know, leave for a little, but we're going to be here with them. And he has some friends he said might stop by, so we might trade out then.
So he'll be in the hospital tomorrow for Thanksgiving.
Correct. He will be in the hospital for Thanksgiving, and we will be here as well.